So the second most common form of communications is reporting. Now, I'm not saying you write screeds and screeds of reports for the sheer sake of it. What I want to make sure is when you're writing a report, it's for a purpose and you're actually doing it appropriately. So the purpose of this presentation is to clarify the impact of reports within a project. Now, a report obviously has to have a purpose, and the most commonly used one is the status report, and it's usually on a weekly basis. But in your communications plan, if you want to do a risk report once a month, then that's what you've got to do. If you want to do an issue report once a month, then that's what you've got to do. It just depends on the stakeholders, the topic of your project, the critical parts of the project, and what the needs and wants are. Obviously, a report also has an author, it has a recipient or recipients. You distribute it somehow, again using one of the methodologies we're talking about. You usually reports finished, put in a PDF form and emailed out nowadays. It's not usually printed, signed and sent to somebody. It's just an expedient way of delivery. And obviously we've talked about the standard headings and content requirements before. And this is what we've been talking about before. If you have 5 teams of people underneath you, or 5 people, or whatever it is, they should all use the same template. So you've got the same headings, even if they don't tend to put anything in it for their particular area. That way that when you start to accumulate or you start to condense that into one report, it's a really easy thing to do, because they've all got the achievements, they've all got their plan for the next week, they've all got their budget under the same contents. Then you can look through, summarise what is the most important factors out of it, and it's easy enough to then come up with one report which follows the same headings that you then put together. It also means that if you're taking content, you're moving or copying content from one report to another, then it's not going to screw it up format wise, because quite often you see people taking content from here and here and here. They're not using the same template, and when they put it into the M1, the formatting's all over the place. It takes them 2 hours to go back and reformat it. So if you've got one template that everyone uses, it will save you a lot of time and grief in putting any summaries together. The most common purpose of a report is to clarify the performance of the project that you're running. And these are the things that are most often included, and these are included in the status report template that's available on the templates and forms page. So you obviously want to include your achievements, your risks and issues that are going on at the moment. What's the difference between a risk and an issue? Has happened. Yeah, so a risk is a maybe, an issue is a definite. So you want to plan for next activities, go through change management and budget management as well. So those things are always going to happen. They're the most simplest forms of update that you would have within a status report. So as I say, use a template. It will save you a lot of grief. So in summary, reports from writing, and they are evidence. If somebody else gets a copy of the report that you've sent out and there's a legal case for any reason, it's a written document on behalf of your organisation, it's evidence. So make sure that you don't put anything in there that's incorrect or flippant. A succinct report will be read. If something is a page long, you've got far more chance of getting people to read it than if it's 15 pages long. So only find the information that a particular person wants, even if it means that you've got to write 3 different reports for 3 different types of audience. If that's what you've got to do, that's what you've got to do. And predetermine the timing and delivery method so that it's expected, and so that when somebody receives it, they don't just put it in the to-do box and then never get around to it.